What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And in today's video, we're going to be having a look at the treasure map stuff versus Zoro. Now, this particular treasure map is a lot more free-to-play friendly compared to last month's treasure map. Even in last month's treasure map prep video, I kind of just showed you my teams and I really didn't have much for you because there really wasn't enough good characters that were free to play that could actually get around the content efficiently with a decent point boost. This time around, things are much more different. You can build pretty good teams this time around that are full free to play that actually have pretty good points compared to, you know, what you would have if you had like all the rare recruit characters. Obviously, if you have the boosters, it makes your life a whole lot easier, but you can still get it done, which is good. And we'll be talking about full free to play teams in this video today. But before we do that, let's actually talk about the brand new character that we're all going to be farming for in this treasure map, which is the brand new Roronoa Zoro Mugiwara 56, a Psy Slasher free spirit character with a captain effect. Get this, a 4 times free spirit boosting captain, flat captain, and also -2 cooldown to your special bind that gets inflicted to your team. What a ridiculously good captain effect for a free to play unit. This unit's going to be good for a lot of content moving forward, especially if you are more reliant on these free-to-play units. Very, very good captain effect. His special ability on a 13-turn cooldown after expansion is a little confusing, but hopefully we can break it down for you guys. So first of all, it reduces damage threshold by 6 turns, which is very good utility. He then will boost the slot effects of your Psy and Free Spirit characters by 2.25 for 1 turn, and it also gives them a 1.5 times attack boost also for 1 turn. So already very good upon activating the special. But then it says if you already have an attack boost active when you launch his special, he's going to give your Psy and Free Spirit characters a 2.25 times orb boost for 2 turns instead of that, you know, just a 1 turn boost. But then it says if you've got an attack boost and an orb boost already active, he extends the duration of the attack and orb boosts by 2 turns. So you can see that if you're using like double Legend Sanji, the new Sanji that comes out, you can use his special ability to extend the duration of your attack and orb boost that you get. So you can see in a situation, yeah, this could be kind of cool in the utility ways of using it. But like, honestly, very, very weird. If you look at his potential abilities, he does get fear resistance. And if you see his sailor abilities, he reduces his cooldown every time another free spirit unit uses their special. And then deck slots are counted as matching for your crew. Like, very weird crewmate effects to have fear resistance for. I think it would have made a lot more sense if he had double special activation. So whatever boost Zoro gives, he just extends those ones. I think that would have been nice. Or if he had like hunger or something like that, I don't know. Or even just like slot bind. Like, it just doesn't really make sense for him to have fear resistance. But remember, it's a free to play unit, so you can max it out pretty efficiently, no problems. Unfortunately, in Pirate Rumble, he isn't the best either. He's got a level 5 attack up to your Psy units and a CT up level 1, and then a special on a 28 CT that gives himself a level 5 attack and speed boost, and then also does a 1.8 times attack in a medium frontal range. So for a free to play unit, not very good in Rumble, unfortunately. So overall, that's a pretty decent unit to be using in regular content that we get access to this time around. Now, scrolling down a little bit further, it does mention here that effect pens are going to be purchasable from the Treasure Bazaar, where you can purchase 50 small bottles and 15 ink bottles. I don't know how often those ink bottles reset, but being able to purchase them from the Treasure Map shop is actually really good. And then it does also mention that Treasure Map Zorojiro, the red one with double special activation, he does damage, a really good unit actually. He will be receiving his ink effect as well on the 15th of October. So that's awesome. You can go ahead and unlock his ink effect if he's a character you want to go ahead and do. If I had an excess amount of them, I probably would. But unfortunately, I don't have a lot of them lying around at the moment, so I probably want to start conserving them a little bit. But just saying that, you know, ink effect pens are going to be active in the Treasure Map Bazaar moving forward, which is really good. And now we get to the boosted list and the Treasure Map crews, which we'll talk about in a moment. But in terms of the Treasure Map list, obviously, like, it's 1-for-1 the exact same boosted list as Japan. So that obviously really sucks, but you can actually build pretty decent teams this time around, which we will discuss in this video today. So let's go ahead and jump on in. First boss that we have is going to be Chopper. So Chopper, with his quest guide, hopefully it loads okay, and hopefully everything's fixed, because I haven't actually looked at the quest guide. I did all this on stream a little bit earlier today, where we kind of went through what he actually does, but it says that his Battle 5, he gives you 2 turns of Special Bind, and he has a full immunity buff, and that's all he does. So he doesn't really do that much. So in order to get around the Special Bind, we have the Treasure Map Cap, Nami, and Sanji unit. And then for a captain, we've got the Kuja Pirates that released with the previous Kizuna Clash. A very good captain effect, 3.75 times attack to free spirit and shooter characters. Colosseum Kanjuro can change colored slots into matching for striker and free spirit. You've got an attack boost and a conditional boost with Kuja Pirates. You've got an orb boost with the Nami and Sanji. Like, there's just no problems at all here. Chopper only has 600,000 health upon the first level, so it's not really that bad at all. And you can see that in the corner he is going to be an int boss, so predominantly running Psy characters for this fight makes it a lot easier. Moving on now to our second boss, which is going to be Nami, and you can see in the corner that she's going to be a quick boss, so you predominantly want to have Dex characters for getting through this fight. So if we go over to her quest guide, hopefully it doesn't take too long to load, but with this particular fight, you'll see that you get given 6 turns of an attack down debuff and also 6 turns of chain coefficient reduction. So in order to get around the chain coefficient reduction, we have Raid Boa or Clash Boa, which gives us a 2.5 times chain lock, no problems at all. Now in order to get around the attack down, we're actually using the Koala. Now Koala is super intriguing because her special ability says it makes your crew immune to attack down and chain decrease lowering for 3 turns. So this means that if you activate the special ability before entering that final boss room, you are able to be immune to all those debuffs. So even though, like, you know, we're using the chain lock of Boa to supersede the chain coefficient reduction, but you don't even need that. Like, it's just awesome. Like, Koala just gets around everything. So the other characters on your crew are dedicated to boosting your team and giving you those slots. Now, Koala is also an attack boost. She does an attack boost upon activation, but then on the next room, she'll also give you an attack boost again. So Koala's really good for this fight. But we're also using Bonnie. She gives us a full body matching slots, but you'd ideally want to use Lucy first. Now, Lucy is a rainbow orb boost. I think he's a 1.75 orb boost, so you'd use him first because he does change your slots around. Then after that, you can use the Bonnie, so you'll have an orb boost, you'll have a chain lock, you'll have an attack boost. Shouldn't be a problem moving forward for this fight. The next boss here is going to be Monkey D. Luffy. So Monkey D. Luffy, for his quest guide, he is going to be an int boss once again. So you probably want to be running those Psy characters. But he gives you block slots. He gives bind to your middle row only. He has a delay immunity and 5 turns of increased defense. So for getting around this fight, in order to get around the increased defense, we have the Kizuna Doflamingo from a couple months back. He removes that, which is not a problem. To get around the block orbs, the free-to-play Robin gets around those. And to get around the bind for your middle row, remember it's 5 turns. So if you have your 3 turns from your powers or your sockets, you only need 2 turns of bind removal, which this Nami is able to do. And then you got Luffy, who can generate some slots, and his special ability can use to give you an attack boost and stuff. Not a problem there. And then also you've got the Zoro, which can give you an orb boost. So you've got an attack boost and an orb boost against this Luffy character. This Luffy has 1.38 million HP at level 1. So you may need to add a color affinity booster, or if you've got obviously stronger Psy characters, you'd be using those instead. But in terms of free to play, this should get the job done for a decent amount of time. And now we look at the next boss, which is against Sanji. This is the final of the Battle Rush bosses. So Sanji, you'll see that with his Battle 5, he gives you unfavorable slots. He has delay immunity, 4 turns of Rainbow Shield, 4 turns of Threshold, and 5 turns of Resilience. Lots of bad debuffs here. But in terms of getting around this, the Blackbeard, the free-to-play Blackbeard gets around those 2 defensive effects. The new Arena Mihawk gets around the resilience buff, and he provides a chain locking effect. Now, the other characters on this team that are free to play, we do have this Fortnite Galette, which can change all colored slots on your shooter and driven characters into matching, and it also gives those shooter and driven characters a 1.5 times color affinity boost, and she's going to be a free to play unit, so most people should have her as a Fortnite Island. I don't know if she's going to be always available, but she's a good unit nonetheless for this team. And then Vanderdecken, the free-to-play Vanderdecken, also will give all your characters a 1.5 times orb boost. So you have an orb boost, you have color affinity, and then the free-to-play Jesus Burgess gives your driven and fighter characters a 1.75 times attack boost. So with this team, we have a lot of characters that get color affinity, orb boost, attack boost. We're able to generate slots for our team. We have a chain lock. This should work for a pretty long time in this quest. So pretty good. And obviously if you have versus Whitebeard friend captain, you'd probably just want to use him as a friend captain because that will give you substantial boosts, way better than running double Blackbeard, for example. But definitely a really easy team to build. And now we can have a look at the final boss fight versus the Zoro. Now for this team in particular, you ideally want to use your friend captain of the brand new legend Sanji. You'd want him as the friend captain for this team hypothetically. but let's have a look at the quest guide. So for this team, you can see here that Battle 4, you get given block slots, 5 turns of burn, and a 2-hit perfect barrier. It's a 3-hit perfect barrier, but it lasts for 2 turns, so it's pretty annoying. But then you've got Battle 5, which is top row, bind and despair for 5 turns, so it's only 2 turns with your sockets active, and 3 turns of special bind is inflicted to your team as well, but it's only inflicted to your crewmates. So if your crewmates have an effect to get around special bind, you can do that. So in order to get around these effects, you can see that we are running this random Zoro as a sub down here. You would honestly replace that Zoro with the new treasure map Zoro instead of that other Zoro. That Zoro is really good, by the way. He gives you an attack and an orb boost upon activation, as we already talked about. And you'd use that Zoro on stage 4. You've got this Nami who can help you get around the block slots, and it also will remove 3 of the 5 turns of burn. So you're going to take burn on stage 4, but when you reach stage 5, the burn is going to be gone, which is fine. We've got this Jinbei who is going to be able to remove the special bind, and he also is a color affinity booster, a 2x color affinity booster. And then you've got this Luffy and Ace character who removes the bind and despair on your captains. It gives all your characters a 2x attack boost as well. And then for the captain, we're going to be using the Gabe character, who's able to change our slots to sign recovery and make them beneficial, and he's just going to be an overall great unit to use. And if you have Sanji as your friend captain, you can use him as your dedicated orb booster for your team. Remember that when Sanji enters the quest, he's going to give you the special activation as soon as you start the fight, which gives you 4 turns of his orb boosting effect. And of course, Zoro is going to be the sub, so in terms of overall damage, you're going to be fine. I did calculate it as well. If you use the Nami and the Zoro on stage 4, then the rest of the specials on the final boss stage, you shouldn't have any issues getting through this fight. But now we need to talk about the Intrusion battle. So the Intrusion battle this time around is against Germa 66. Interestingly enough, remember, they're going to be receiving their Super Evolution this month. At least they should be receiving their Super Evolution this month. Now, the way that this team works is that Rayleigh is going to be replaced by the new free-to-play Rayleigh that's going to be available from the Pirate Rumble. He's a 3x attack booster to sign int, and you'd use him as a captain, works out fine. Obviously, friend captain, once again, is ideally the new treasure map Sanji in order to get through it. But let's have a look at the quest guide for this Intrusion fight. Now, remember, Battle 1 gives cooldown to certain units, and in this instance here for this quest, the characters that receive the cooldown are going to be sign int characters. They receive 10 turns of special cooldown, so you want to build a team of only sign and int characters. So Battle 2, full board of block slots, 5 turns of attack down, and 5 turns of resilience. So with the Mihawk, we're able to remove the resilience, and then for the attack down, we can use this Robin character. She removes 3 turns of attack down, she changes the block slots we get given into matching, and then the support effect of Broskiis says that when we launch the special, we remove an additional 2 turns of attack down. So there we go. The combination of Broskiis and Robin, free-to-play wise, can get rid of those attack down turns, which is great. Remember, Sanji launches his special at the start of the quest, which means you're going to have an orb boost as soon as you enter stage 2, which is very, very good. And then on Battle 3, you can see you get given 5 turns of paralysis, 4 turns of a nasty chain coefficient reduction. He does have a full immunity buff, and then he will revive to 30% after you kill him, and he limits your specials to 1 special per turn. So for getting around paralysis, we have Jinbei once again, plus he gives a color affinity boost. We have the Katakuri to give us the multi-turn chain lock. It lasts for 3 turns at 2.75 times chain lock. And then, you know, the Rayleigh that would be the captain, he's only really here because he's a higher point booster than the other characters on this team, so that's the reason why we've done it that way. The Rayleigh on this team is a chain booster, so he's not super ideal in terms of his special ability, but he's only really here as just a higher point booster. Definitely replaceable if you don't want to use him, if you don't have him. And then of course Sanji being able to use his special ability, and if you've still got your orb boost active, which I don't think he will have it still active, he'll provide an attack boost instead. But the thing is, whenever you use Sanji's special, it's going to give you multiple turns of an attack boost or multiple turns of an orb boost. And remember, when Sanji launches his special, he increases the chances of matching slots appearing by a very, very high amount. So the chances that you get matching slots naturally is actually going to be pretty high, and that'll be lasting for multiple turns. So even if you kill him after the revive, you should be getting a lot of matching slots still. If not, you can still replace one of these units with an orb blocker instead. You could potentially use Jinbei as the captain, then replace the Rayleigh with a unit that can guarantee some slots. You could potentially do that as well, so keep that in the back of your mind. Just depends on what you really want to do. But in terms of overall damage, you're not going to have a problem so long as both your final boss team and your Intrusion team have that new Sanji as a friend captain. So with all of that being said, that is going to conclude yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. Thank you very much for watching the video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that guys, I will see you guys within the next video.